is a young woman in her early 20s who grew up in a big city. Since she was little, she would hear regular knocking sounds coming from inside the walls of her home. At first, her parents tried to fix it, but they eventually gave up. One day, Amani heard loud voices coming from the wall. It sounded like the people were having a violent argument. This was different from the usual sound, so she called her parents to come and listen. But by the time they got there, the voices were gone. Her parents started suggesting that maybe it was time for them to move to a new home. Though this, just a theory, Amani's dad already started looking for another apartment. Meanwhile, Amani's boyfriend, Wissam, tried to convince her that the sounds were probably just old pipes, but even he started feeling uncomfortable. One night, Amani heard someone knocking the wall right beside her bed. She was too scared to go to sleep that night and stayed up until dawn. The next morning, she went to her parents' room to talk to them. They hugged her and told her that they found a new apartment, though they didn't tell her where. A few days later, her dad told her to pack her things because it was finally time to move. She hugged them goodbye and got into the taxi her father had called. But when she turned to wave at her mother, she realized that she had no idea where they were going. Her mom had taken a blindfold off of her eyes, and now she saw that they were driving towards her apartment building. Her parents stopped the car, but before she could get out, her mom said, "We're not moving away." "Amani, I'm so sorry. But after we listened to those voices, we thought that we should stay together as a family. Going to fix the problem once and for all." Amani felt confused and upset, but also relieved. She hugged her parents and thanked them for staying with her. They all went inside the apartment. Then her father went to work and her mom and Amani sat down on the couch. "I've always hated that sound," her mom said, "but now it's almost like I'm used to it. You know, you never really notice the things you hear every day." Amani nodded slowly. "Yeah, like the birds outside our window. I never paid attention to their chirping, but after we moved to this apartment, I noticed how loud they were. The same goes for the knocking. I don't think I'll ever get used to it." Her mom put her arm around Amani's shoulder. "Don't worry, honey. You'll see that it's not a big deal." "Girl, what are you afraid of?" "Afraid of being alone in this apartment when I hear the knocking," she replied. "Oh, you don't have to be afraid," her mom said. "We're a team. We'll face it together." Amani nodded slowly, but she knew that her mom was only saying this to comfort her. She was glad that her parents had chosen to stay with her, but she was still very afraid. She missed her old apartment. She wished that she could go back, but then she looked at her mom and realized that she wouldn't be able to do that. She needed to be brave for herself and for her mom. She didn't want to let her down. So she stood up, took her mom's hand and said, "It's okay, Mom. Let's go check out the wall." They went to her bedroom and examined the wall behind her bed. She pointed at a spot that was slightly more concave than the others. "I heard someone knocking right there," she said. Her mother nodded and tapped the wall with her finger. "HMM," she said. "This wall seems to be hollow. Maybe there's a secret passage behind it." "A secret passage," Amani repeated. Her mind started wandering. "Maybe someone is trying to break in," she said suddenly. "No, that's silly," her mom replied. "You'd hear them breaking the wood, wouldn't you?" Amani nodded, but she still felt uneasy. Her mom wrapped her arms around her. "Why don't we distract ourselves with some coffee?" she suggested. As soon as they walked out the bedroom, they heard the glass coffee table in the living room shatter into pieces. They both screamed and fell to the ground. Amani looked up and saw that the coffee table was indeed broken. She couldn't help but cry. Her mom put her arms around her, but after a moment she pulled away. "Let's call your father," she said. "He'll know what to do." She grabbed her phone and dialed her husband's number. "Hey, honey, come home as fast as you can. Something weird is happening," she said. A few minutes later, her dad arrived. The three of them huddled in the living room, listening to the sounds in the wall. Then her dad got an idea. "What if I drill a small hole in the wall?" he suggested. "That way we'll know what's going on inside." Her mom agreed, and her dad went to get his toolbox. While he was gone, she looked at her mom. "Do you really think that there's someone trapped inside that wall?" she asked. "I don't know, sweetie. Your father will see what's going on soon," her mom replied. Amani nodded slowly. A few moments later, her dad came back and drilled a small hole in the wall. "Okay, now let's take a look," he said. He stuck a flashlight through the hole and shined it deep inside. "What do you see?" Amani asked. Her dad leaned closer and whispered, "There's nothing there. Just some pipes." He drilled a few more holes nearby and shone his flashlight again. "Look, there's definitely something behind there," he said. "Pipes don't make that kind of sound. Plus, I can feel something moving behind the wall." Amani felt so relieved. "See, I told you," she said. "There's someone behind there," but her dad didn't answer. He was staring at the hole with a shocked expression on his face. "Dad, what's wrong?" Amani asked. He seemed to come back to reality and shook his head. "Nothing. It's just that I didn't realize how big the hole was. I think we need to drill a bigger one." He took out the drill and made a larger hole. "Now, let me shine my light a bit further," he said. Then he did so. "Wow," he whispered. "It's amazing in here." "What do you mean?" Amani asked. "Well, look at all this stuff," he replied. "So these are the things that were making the noises." He pointed his flashlight at several pairs of eyes. They were tiny, beady eyes that stared back at him.